With the NBA playoffs less than a week away, playoff seedings have yet to be determined. The Cleveland Cavaliers are currently the 4th seed, which means they will play the Indiana Pacers in the first round, a rematch of last year's playoff series. Or they can move up to the 3, where they can face Milwaukee or Miami. What's up guys, my name is Wilson. LeBron James is a perfect 12-0 in the first round of the playoffs, including winning an astonishing 21 straight first round games, with his last loss in Game 4 against the Knicks in 2012, which was almost 6 years ago. With an astonishing 48-7 overall record in the opening round of the playoffs, a staggering .873 win percentage. No other player in NBA history has achieved this type of dominant success in the first round. Only Robert Horry and Derek Fisher had a better first round record, both going 16-0 in the 16-team playoff format, while James is on pace to break it. After sweeping his last 5 opening round matchups dating back to 2013 with Miami, the only real challenge LeBron's had in the opening round of the playoffs was in his 3rd season, where he made the playoffs for the first time in his career. After finishing with a 50-32 overall record in 05-06, James and the Cavaliers earned the 4th seed, where they faced the 5th seeded Washington Wizards, led by Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jamison, and Caron Butler. In James' first playoff appearance, the King did not disappoint. Having home court advantage, James immediately took matters into his own hands, giving the Wizards a taste of their own medicine, jumping out to an 11-point lead in the first quarter of Game 1, never looking back. James had one of the most impressive starts in his postseason debut, putting up 32, 11, and 11 for a triple-double, joining Magic Johnson and Johnny McCarthy as the only players to post a triple-double in their first ever playoff game. Game 2 of that series would be very defensive, as both teams shot under 40% from the floor despite LeBron's 26.9 rebound performance. James committed 10 turnovers, while Gilbert Arenas scored a game-high 30 points, with the Wizards escaping with an 89-84 victory. Game 3 would go down to the wire in a classic performance by both James and Arenas, with LeBron putting up a game-high 41 points, Gilbert scoring 34 for Washington. With the game tied going to the 4th quarter, both stars went back and forth in crunch time. With the game tied at 93, James scored an open layup to give the Cavs a 2-point lead with 30 seconds left, but a few seconds after, Arenas responded with a bucket of his own, getting the layup plus the and-1 free throw to give Washington a 1-point lead. With the game going to the finish line, LeBron once again responded with a layup of his own, able to hang midair for the go-ahead game winner with 5.7 seconds left, even though there were a lot of controversy involving James' basket, whether he traveled or not. As is shown on replay, it did look like James took 3 steps and indeed got away with a travel, but I'll let you be the judge and decide. The Wizards, however, had a golden opportunity to win the ball game when Arenas had a wide open look for 3, which went halfway down and out. The Cavs would take a 2-1 series lead, with the Wizards pulling away in Game 4 with a 106-96 win, despite James going off for 38 points while Arenas once again dropped 34. Game 5 at the Q would end up being one of the best playoff games of the 2000s. While the Cavs held the lead for most of the game, being up 7 with a minute 18 left, the Wizards were resilient, scoring the next 7 points, while James had a chance to seal it, up 2 with 12 seconds left, turning the ball over, leading to a Caron Butler steal and the layup to tie it at 107. Next possession, James had a chance to win it at the buzzer, missing a 20-foot pull-up jumper, but would later make up for it in overtime. With the game once again down to the final possession, the Wizards yet again forced the Cavs into another turnover, leading Gilbert Arenas to a transition layup with 30 seconds left. Both superstars would get fouled in the next 2 possessions, each knocking down both free throws. As the Wizards were clinging to a 1-point lead with 3.6 seconds left, the greatness of LeBron James was not to be denied, as James drove baseline for the game-winning layup with 0.9 seconds left, still one of his best playoff moments to this very day, and arguably one of his best playoff performances, scoring a game-high 45 points on 14 of 23 shooting, even connecting on 17 of 18 from the free throw line. Despite the loss for the Wizards, Gilbert Arenas finished with 44 that game. In case you guys don't remember, Arenas was only 24 years old at the time and was on verge of becoming one of the best players in the NBA before his unfortunate injury happened a year later, ruining his career forever. Game 6 was also a thriller to remember. With LeBron and the Cavs looking to close things out, Washington had other plans in mind, jumping out to an early lead in the first quarter, led by as many as 14, before Cleveland quickly came right back. With just under 3 minutes to go in regulation, both Gilbert and LeBron exchanged 3-pointers. In fact, the Wizards were up 7 with just over 2 minutes left, before Daniel Marshall drained a clutch 3, followed by LeBron's layup at the rim, with the Cavs going on a 13-3 run with role players in Ronald Murray, Curry and Eric Snow hitting clutch free throws to put Cleveland up 3. Before Agent Zero delivered with a 28-foot bomb, tying the game at 107 with 2.3 seconds left, one of the most forgotten clutch shots of the 2000s. That's how amazing Gilbert Arenas was. Cleveland had a chance to win it in regulation, but the pass was picked off by Jamison, missing a Hail Mary which would have sent the series to Game 7 if he would have made it. In one of the most defining moments of the series, with Washington up 1 in OT with 15 seconds left, James walked over to Arenas at the free throw line and whispers, "Miss these free throws, this game's over." And it paid off big time, as Arenas, an 80% free throw shooter, missed the first before James confronted him, guaranteeing if he missed, the Cavs would win the series, patting him on the shoulder. It was clear James got into Gilbert's head in one of the most painful moments in Wizards franchise history. Unfortunately, it would be the last amazing playoff series Arenas played in, as LeBron's legacy was just getting started. Final Cavs possession, Damon Jones stepped up and nailed the long jumper with less than 5 seconds left for the game-winning basket. The Wizards still had one last shot, with Caron Butler getting a decent look, missing the game-winning 3 at the end off the front rim, ending the Wizards' playoff hopes. In that series, both James and Arenas were absolutely sensational. While LeBron averaged nearly 36 points, 7.5 rebounds, and nearly 6 assists, Arenas put up 34, over 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. At the time, the two finished with the second most points combined for a top 2 scorer in the single playoff series, behind Jerry West and John Havlicek in the 1969 finals. While the Cavs were victorious, winning 3 of their 4 games by a single point in one of the most competitive playoff series LeBron James has ever played in. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's almost obvious LeBron James will easily win his first round series coming up, but do you guys think LeBron and the Cavs will continue to sweep? How many games will it take for LeBron to advance to the semis? Let me know in the comments below. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.